All right, James, today we're diving into Genesis chapter 4, introducing the first brothers, Cain and Abel. Adam and Eve now have children, beginning humanity's complex journey. Indeed, Marcus, from the outset we see a clear distinction. Cain, the farmer, and Abel, the shepherd. Two different paths right from the very beginning.
And then their offerings. Cain brings some produce, but Abel offers the firstborn of his flock. It's that subtle yet significant difference in intent, the heart behind the giving.
Right. The Lord accepts Abel's offering, but not Cain's. Cain's furious reaction, his countenance falling, hints at something deeper than just the gift itself.
Absolutely. That's the crux. It's not merely the offering, it's the devotion. Abel gave his best. Cain's seems perfunctory. When the Lord acknowledges Abel's sincerity, Cain's fury becomes instantly palpable.
It's a proper tipping point, isn't it? His countenance falls, as it says. And then, the Lord, he actually speaks to Cain directly, which I think is quite remarkable. He's saying, "Why are you angry? Why is your face like that?" And he offers him a way out, doesn't he? Like, if you do well, won't you be accepted? What do you make of that bit, Marcus? It feels like a genuine warning.
Oh, it's absolutely a warning, James. It's like a divine intervention right before the catastrophe. The Lord isn't just saying, "Hey, you messed up." He's saying, "Look, you're on a path here. If you just do what's right, it'll be fine." But then he delivers that really chilling line about sin, doesn't he? Sin lies at the door. Its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. It's a profound statement about free will,
Yeah, that bit about sin lying at the door. I mean, it's almost personified, isn't it? Like a predator waiting. And you're right, it puts the onus on Cain, saying, "You can overcome this. You're not a slave to this anger." But he really doesn't seem to heed that, does he? He just kind of ignores the advice, which is, well, tragic, really.
Exactly. It's such a clear choice, The path of righteousness is right there. Acceptance is available. But the darker path, that temptation to just lash out, is also right there, waiting. And Cain, unfortunately, he lets that anger fester. He lets that sin just, get the better of him. It's a really stark reminder, I think, of those moments we all face, right? Where we have to choose.
And then it just takes such a dark turn, doesn't it? He talks with Abel and it just says, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. It's so abrupt, so, impactful. No real detail about the conversation, just the act. And then the Lord, again, he confronts Cain. "Where's Abel, your brother?"
Yeah, it's just like bam, isn't it? One moment they're talking, the next, the unspeakable has happened. And the Lord's question, "Where's Abel, your brother?" It's not because he doesn't know, obviously. It's a chance for Cain to admit it, to confess, to show some remorse, right? But Cain's response, oh boy, that's where he just totally doubles down on the denial.
His response, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" That's such a defining line, isn't it? It's like the ultimate evasion of responsibility. And even today, people use that phrase. It really, it just resonates. But it shows such a lack of conscience at that moment, doesn't it? After doing something so awful.
Totally. It's incredible. He's not just denying the act. He's denying the very fundamental bond of brotherhood, of humanity. He's like, why should I even care? And that's where the Lord's response just totally hits you, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. It's so powerful. This idea of the very earth, the blood, testifying against him.
The imagery there, Marcus, is just phenomenal, isn't it? The blood crying out from the ground. It really paints such a vivid, almost visceral picture of the horror of what's happened. And then the curse, right? It's immediate and it's quite severe. He's cursed from the earth, which, previously he'd been a tiller of, hadn't he? So it really hits him where it hurts.
Absolutely, James. It's like a reversal of his entire existence. He was a farmer, right? And now the very ground he worked, it's not going to yield its strength for him anymore. He's literally separated from his livelihood, his purpose. And then to be a fugitive and a vagabond. I mean, that's just a life of constant wandering, no rest, no home. It's a truly harsh punishment, but, it fits the gravity of the crime, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And then Cain's reaction to the curse, it's interesting, isn't it? He's not remorseful about killing Abel, it seems, but he's like totally overwhelmed by his own punishment. My punishment is greater than I can bear, he says. And he's worried about being found and killed himself. It's very self-centered almost, isn't it?
Oh, totally self-centered, James. It's not, oh, I've killed my brother, how awful. It's, oh no, what's going to happen to me? And he's got this fear, this absolute terror of retaliation. But then, the Lord in his mercy, he puts a mark on Cain, not for further punishment, but actually for protection. So whoever finds him, well, they won't kill him. It's a surprising turn, really.
Yeah, that mark of Cain, it's really quite a profound moment, isn't it? After everything, there's still like this act of grace almost. And then, well, Cain rows off, doesn't he, to the land of Nod, east of Eden. And he just starts building a life. He has a wife, has a son, Enoch, and builds a city. It's quite a rapid progression almost after such a tragic event.
It is, James. It really is. And it shows that life, it continues, doesn't it? Even with this huge dark stain on humanity's history, things keep moving. And then we get the family of Cain, and it's interesting because they start developing all these skills. Jabal, the father of those who dwell in tents, with livestock, Jubal, the musicians, the harp and flute players, and then Tubal-Cain, the metalworker. It's the beginning of civilization in a way through this cursed line.
That's a really good point, Marcus. So, even though he's marked and sent away, his descendants are actually contributing significantly to human advancement, aren't they? And then you've got Lamech. He's a piece of work, isn't he? Takes 2 wives, which is like the first recorded polygamy, and then he boasts about killing someone. I've killed a man for wounding me, he says. It's a real escalation of violence.
Oh, Lamech is a total character, isn't he? He's like the embodiment of this escalating violence, this unchecked vengeance. He just absolutely boasts about killing a man for a minor injury. And then he totally ups the ante on the whole vengeance thing, doesn't he? He says, if Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, then Lamech 77-fold. It's a really dark reflection of the sin that started with his ancestor, Cain, but taken to an extreme degree.
77-fold. I mean, that's just, it's madness, isn't it? It really highlights how far humanity has fallen, I suppose, in terms of unchecked aggression. But then it almost pivots, doesn't it, away from Cain's line to Adam and Eve again. And they have another son, Seth. It feels like a new beginning almost for humanity after all that darkness.
It's absolutely a new beginning, James. It's like a glimmer of hope after this really, really dark period. Eve, she names him Seth, saying, God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. So it's a direct acknowledgement of Abel's loss, but also like a divine provision, right? A replacement, a fresh start. And it's not just a physical replacement. It's a spiritual one, too.
Yeah. And then Seth has a son, Enosh. And this bit, Marcus, I find really, really significant. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord. It's like the pendulum swinging back, isn't it? From this violence and vengeance of Cain's line to people actually seeking God again. It's quite redemptive, really, after everything.
Totally redemptive, James. It's the reestablishment of that connection, that spiritual seeking. After all the chaos, the murder, the curses, the escalating violence of Lamech, humanity starts to remember its origins, starts to turn back to the Creator. It's like the first step towards a covenant relationship again. And it really just leaves you with this sense of enduring hope, doesn't it? That despite everything, there's always a way back.
Now, before we sign off completely, we want to give you some takeaways so that you can apply these principles to your everyday life experiences. Get a piece of paper and pen and jot these down. Keep a notebook.
Book of Genesis 4:1-25 continues the story of humanity after the fall by showing how sin spreads through relationships, especially within the family. Cain and Abel bring offerings to God, but Cain's is rejected, revealing that God values the heart and obedience behind worship, not merely the act itself. When Cain becomes angry and jealous, God warns him that sin is crouching at the door, teaching that destructive desires can be resisted if addressed early. Cain ignores the warning and murders his brother, showing how unchecked jealousy and resentment can escalate into violence. Afterward, Cain avoids responsibility by asking, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Yet God holds him accountable, demonstrating that people are responsible for how they treat one another. Though Cain faces serious consequences, including exile and hardship, God still shows mercy by protecting him, reinforcing that judgment and grace coexist. The chapter contrasts Cain's lineage, marked by growing violence and pride, with the line of Seth, through whom people begin to call on the name of the Lord, showing two paths for humanity: self-centered independence or dependence on God. Practically, Genesis 4 warns against comparing oneself to others, allowing jealousy to grow, or ignoring God's correction. It encourages honest self-examination, mastery over anger, and responsibility for others' well-being. In everyday life, the passage calls people to choose humility over rivalry, obedience over resentment, and compassion over indifference, reminding readers that while sin's effects multiply when ignored, God continually invites repentance, restraint, and a life oriented toward worship, responsibility, and hope.
Powerful insights, James. A lot for our listeners to reflect on and incorporate into their daily lives. Thank you for joining us on this profound journey through Genesis.